Hey, what's up everyone? Mr.TreeVR here, and today I will be teaching you guys how to make a Gorilla Tag fan game. If you guys want this to be like a series or a multi-part video, comment down below, I'll be reading those. And sorry if my microphone sounds bad. I don't have a proper microphone, so bear with me. Alright, let's get right into it. So what you're going to want to do first is search up Unity. And you're going to want to download Unity Hub and make an account and do all that stuff. So once you've done that, you're going to want to open up Unity Hub. Once you have Unity Hub open, you're going to want to go to Installs and click on Install Editor. You're going to want to get one of these versions right here. Do not get Unity 6. It will be weird and it will be a lot different than one of these. So get one of these versions, it doesn't matter which one you get. I would recommend one of these two. And you're going to want to click on install, and then you're going to want to click on Android build support. This is the only one that you need for making a Gorilla Tag fan game, but if you're planning to do other stuff as well, you could get one of these. But this is all you need for your Gorilla Tag fan game, Android build support. And then you're going to want to click on continue and install. This might take a little bit, so be patient. Once you've installed the editor, you are going to want to go to projects and click on new project. And this is where you're going to make your project for your Gorilla Tag fan game. You are going to want to go to core, and then you're going to want to click on 3D built-in render pipeline. And then once you've clicked that, you can name your project. I'm just going to name this tutorial. Yeah, I'm going to name it tutorial. And then you get this. You could also use a Unity version control, that doesn't matter though. So then what you're going to want to do is click on create project. And then it will be creating the project. You might have to wait a little bit. First time opening the project will take a little bit. Alright, once you have loaded into your Unity project, this is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go to edit in the top left corner. You're going to want to go to project settings. Now, once you have project settings open, at the very bottom, you should see a thing called XR plugin management. You're going to want to click on that and click on install XR plugin management. Alright, once you installed XR plugin management, you see something called project validation. That's alright, you don't want to mind that. You're going to want to go into this category, XR plugin management, and you're going to want to make sure you're on the computer here, and then you want to click on open XR and let that install. And now, as you're installing it, if you get this warning saying that you should restart your editor, click on yes and it will close out of Unity and reopen Unity. Alright, once you have reset your Unity and you have installed the OpenXR, you might have some warnings. What you're going to want to do is just click on fix all and they will fix almost all the warnings. But if you see one that says edit right here, if you see one that says edit, that is normal. That's what we're going to do right now. So what you want to do is you see a new category here, click on Open XR, and make sure you're on the computer section. What you're going to want to do is change this from single pass to multi-pass. It might load a little bit since I just reopened the Unity editor. Once you change it from single pass to multi-pass, and then you're going to want to go here and change this from single pass / multi-view to multi-pass. And then what you're going to want to do is go back to the computer icon here, and then you're going to want to click on this add button right down here, and then you're going to want to click on Oculus Touch Controller Profile and Valve Index Controller Profile. Now, don't add the MetaQuest Touch Pro Controller Profile. I highly don't recommend it. Don't worry, people on that headset will still be able to play your game. Now you're going to want to go to the Android section over here, and then you're going to want to click on add and add the Oculus Touch Controller Profile. Now you're going to want to go back to XR plugin management. You're going to want to make sure you're not on the computer icon here. You want to make sure on your Android icon. And then you want to click on Oculus, not OpenXR, Oculus. And then you're going to want to install it. Alright, once you have downloaded the Oculus, you should have already noticed that the warnings have gone away apart from this one. This one, it's okay. And then you want to click on the new icon down here called Oculus. And then you want to go to the computer, change this from single pass to multi-pass, go to the Android, change this from multi-view to multi-pass. And then you're going to want to check mark this low overhead view. All these other ones you can leave. And now that's it for over here, so you can close out of your project settings. And now what you're going to want to do is go to Window, and then you're going to want to go to Package Manager. You're going to open up the Package Manager. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to In Unity Registry, and then you're going to want to click on Add. And then you're going to want to add a package from Get URL. And then you're going to want to type in this URL. com.unity.xr.interaction.toolkit. Put in that URL exactly how it is. I'm going to leave it on the screen so you guys can type it. Alright, once you guys have put in this URL, you're going to click on Add on the right, and then it will add the package. Alright, once it's done installing, what you're going to need to do, and I highly recommend doing this, because I will be using it very often in this video, you want to go to In Unity Registry, and search up Pro, and then you should see Pro Builder, and you're going to want to install Pro Builder. This is a super good tool for building in your Gorilla Tag fan game, and I'm going to be using it a lot in this video. So get Pro Builder. Once you've installed Pro Builder, what you're going to want to do is go into In Project, and you're going to want to scroll down until you see XR Interaction Toolkit. This is what you installed by putting in that Get URL. You're going to want to go to Samples, and install the starter assets. If this pops up while importing the starter assets, just click on Fix All and it'll fix all of them. Once you've imported the starter assets, you can leave Package Manager, and then you're going to want to go to Samples, XR Interaction Toolkit, the version number, starter assets, and then you're going to want to go to Presets. And then you're going to see all of these. Now what you're going to want to do is go one by one, click on them, and then click on Add. And you're going to want to add all of these. Alright, once you've clicked on Add for all of these, what you're going to want to do is go to Edit and go to Project Settings. And then you're going to want to go to Preset Manager. And then you should see all the things that you've added. Now what you're going to want to do is scroll down until you see Grab Move Provider. Do not put it in Controller Input Action Manager. Only put it in Grab Move Provider. Only type in here. Now what you're going to want to do is for the right hand where it says right, type exactly like this, right, and then for left, type exactly like this, left. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to exit out of here. And now we can actually start building our map for your Gorilla Tag fan game. So what you're going to want to do is actually first delete the main camera. So you're going to want to click on it, and you're going to delete the main camera. Now, what I would recommend doing now is clicking on save. Alright, now what you're going to want to do is you're going to go here, you're going to want to go to Pro Builder, and you're going to want to create a plane. This is going to be your floor for the Gorilla Tag fan game. Now, I'm just going to name this floor. Oh, I accidentally duplicated it. I'm going to name this floor. Now, I like to keep my hierarchy organized, so that's what I'm going to do. So now what you could do is you can make this a little bigger, and now how to actually add it instead of making it a little cube is what you can do is, so what you're going to want to do is go to Tools, go to Pro Builder, and open up Pro Builder window. And now you're going to want to, you can drag this in the top here. And then when you have this open while clicking on a Pro Builder shape, you should see these options pop up. You're going to want to click on this line. So once you've selected a line, you can rotate it by using the rotate tool. And you can just make the map look pretty interesting. So I'm going to time lapse real quick, making the map look nice. Alright, it looks alright. It could be better. So this is my map. And now what you're going to want to do is just select all the edges. You want to select every single edge by holding Control and selecting them, all the outer edges. Now once you've selected all the outer edges, you're going to want to click on Control, then E to extrude it. And now what you could do is look around a little bit. You won't be able to use WASD unless you're, using turning it around. So now you're going to want to lift this. I think that's a good height. You want to click on Control E again. And then you're going to want to click on the scale tool and scale it down just a little bit. Now you want to move it to the center and move it up. And there, now you have a little map. And now if you want to texture the map, which I'm assuming you guys do, what you're going to want to do is I have placed a link in the description for a Google Drive. So you want to go into the Google Drive and download this mat or materials Unity package. Once you've downloaded it, you can make a folder if you want. So I'm going to create a folder called mats, short for materials if you want, or just textures. And now what you're going to want to do is you can open up the folder. You can either go into your file explorer and drag the file into here, or you can right click on import package and click on custom package, and then you can find it in here. So once you found it, you're going to click on it and click on open. And then once you've dragged it in, you want to click on all. Make sure you click on all and then click on import. And now it will import all of these. So what you're going to want to do is click on this, go to create, go to material, and I'm going to name this grass. And then you can make one more material. I would recommend putting the smoothness to 0. You could create one more material called walls or something. So you can go here, click on material, and name it walls. And now for the walls material, you're going to want to drag the wall texture into this albedo section right here, not the metallic. And then for the grass, you could do the same thing. Now, what you're going to want to do, what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to click, you're going to want to go here, you're going to go to faces, and then you're going to want to select all the floor tiles like I said. So you're going to want to select them. You could also hold control and then select all of the floor tiles, not the walls, only the floors. Now once you've selected all the floor, you're going to want to go up here where you put your Pro Builder. what you're going to want to do is scroll down until you see detached faces, and you want to click on it. And now what you're going to want to do is you can rename this to walls, and then you can rename this back to floor. And now you have separated your walls and floor. And what you could do right now is you could create an empty and name it like you can name it forest and drag your floor and walls in here so you have it nice and organized. So now what you want to do is go to floor, click on floor, and you want to drag the grass onto there. And then for the walls, you're going to drag there. And now if you want it to be pixelated like Gorilla Tag, you're going to want to go to the texture, not the material. One of the texture, you want to go to the inspector. What you're going to want to do is you're going to go here and you see max size. I would recommend like 128 or 256. I'm going to go 128. And then you're going to also want to make sure the filter mode is point no filter. And you want to click on apply, and now it looks nice and pixelated. If you want it more pixelated, you can always just go here and lower it to one of the lower numbers. But I think this is a good amount. And then you can do the same thing for the walls. Go to the wall texture, not the actual material. And then you could change it to something. Go to point no filter, click on apply. And there. Now you have a nice little map, a nice little starter map. And now we're going to add the actual gorilla. So what you're going to want to do is go to the link in the description again. And you're going to download the Gorilla Tag Locomotion. I put it here so it's easy for you guys to get it, so you don't have to search it up. This is the newest one, don't worry, they haven't added a new one. So you're going to want to get this. And then what you want to do is go to your assets. And then you could do the same thing. You could either right click and then click on import custom package, but that's what I did last time, so I'm going to show you how it looks like to do the other method. You're going to want to go here, and then you're going to want to find your Gorilla Tag Locomotion. You want to find your Gorilla Locomotion and drag it into your assets. And now what you want to do is click on all, and then click on import. Now you're going to want to wait for it to import. And now if you see this, do not click on reload. It will reload the entirety of the scenes and you will lose your map. Always click on ignore. So click on ignore. And then you should there. So now you're going to want to go to resources, Gorilla Prefab. And then you're going to want to find your Gorilla Rig and drag it into your hierarchy. Once you've dragged your Gorilla Rig in here, what you want to do is right click, go to Prefab and unpack completely. And now you need to find your rig somewhere in your scene. So as right here, if the map is too small or too big for your rig, do not change your rig size, change the map size. Because the rig does have a camera, and the camera will not change size if you change the rig size. So you're going to want to go to forest, and you're going to make your map a little bigger if it's too small. So yeah, you're going to want to go to floors and walls and make it bigger. Now I think that's an okay size map. It's probably still way too small, but it's alright. So now you have your Gorilla Rig, and now if you click on your Gorilla Rig, you're going to see an error in this script. It says you should change it to XR Origin, but you don't have to if you really don't want to. But if you are really annoyed by the error here, you can. Again, you don't have to, but if you really want to, I'm going to show you how. So what you want to do is remember that the rig base object is the Gorilla Rig, and the camera floor offset is the Gorilla Player. You want to make sure the camera again, yeah, and then you want to make sure this is the same. So you want to memorize all this. What you're going to do is go here, click on remove component, and you want to click on add component, and type in XR or and you want to find XR Origin, click on it, And now this is already set for Gorilla Rig. You're going to drag Gorilla Player on the side, drag it into there. Now you're going to open up Gorilla Player, find main camera, drag it there, and you want to change this to 2.5. And now it's the same thing but without the error. Now what you're going to want to do, and this is really important, you're going to want to go to your left hand controller and you're going to want to add a new layer. Now you're going to want to add 2 new layers. Anywhere here, you're going to add a layer that's left, exactly like that, and then right. For the layer, it doesn't matter, but what you could say like left hand or right hand, but I'm going to put left and right. Now you're going to want to go to your left hand and change the layer to left. And you want to go to your right hand and change the layer to right. And then what you're going to want to do is that's it actually. You have set up a basic little thing for your Gorilla Tag fan game. And now what you could do is save. And now to test it, you don't actually have to go in your VR. What you could do is click on play in the top right here. And it will start up. Now you'll be in game, go to scene, and then go to your left hand or right hand controller, and then you're going to use the move. And then you can move around, but if you do want to test it in your VR or you want to share it with other people, what you're going to want to do is go to build settings here. If it's not already there, what you're going to want to do is go to window, go to panels, and then there should be build settings right there. So now you're going to want to go to build settings. And what you're going to want to do is if this icon's not already on Android, what you're going to do is click on Android and then click on switch platform. And then it's going to switch the platform to Android and you'll see why later. Now, once you've successfully switched to Android, you should know because this little Unity icon will be on Android. And it will say build here instead of switch platform. For me, it's still compiling a few scripts, but that's alright. And then what you can want to do, if your game is not released to the store, you can click on development build. This will speed up the building process, but make sure to uncheck this anytime once you release your game. And now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on build and then you're going to click on yes if a pop-up appears, but I'm still compiling scripts so I can't do that right now. You're going to want to click on yes, you're going to click on build, and you're going to click on yes if a pop-up comes up. And then it will build the APK file. You can name the APK file whatever you want, but I assume you're going to want to put it as the name of your game. So yeah, that's how you make a Gorilla Tag fan game. See you guys in the next video. If you guys want this to be a series, let me know. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.